Matthew Gambill, who is going to answer some questions for us on the state level, what the state is doing to help specifically our small businesses during this challenging time. So welcome, State Representative. Thank you for being with us.
Hey, Sandy, it's great to be with you today, and I appreciate the opportunity.
You got it. All right, so our first question is kind of just a general question for you. What is the governor doing right now to help our small businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question. We just a few minutes ago had a conference call with the legislature and our governor to get an update on where we're at with things, especially as it relates to small business, which is something near and dear to my heart. The governor has created an economic impact committee that is a part of the Georgians First Commission. And that committee is taking all of the feedback that's coming in from across the state, from small business, to help develop strategies and ways that the state can get in there and support small business during this pandemic that we're experiencing. So the governor talked a good bit about the Economic Impact Committee and what their charge was.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let me ask you this. I know the federal government also, lots coming down from the federal government as well, and there's an economic stimulus that they've released. Talk about that a little bit, and what will the impact be for small business, and how do you see that playing out?
Right. So many of the questions that have come in since last week, even to me here at the local level, are questions that really can't be addressed by our local leaders or even our state leaders. It's dependent on certain things being addressed at the federal level. And so we are in the process of communicating with our Georgia congressional delegation. The governor's had a conference call with the president and vice president, as well as our Georgia congressional delegation, to give them feedback that we've gotten here at the state level, and also to ask for clarification with regards to the federal stimulus and what's being proposed. And so there are some things such as the delay of the collection of income tax and other things that, as soon as we get better clarification from what all the stimulus will entail, it will then allow us at the state level to put some of the similar things in place that will have an effect here at the state level. So again, one of those examples would be, we've had questions about delaying the collection of income tax, even payroll tax. And right now we're waiting to see what the feds outline in their stimulus package to determine if we also follow suit with those things at the state level.
Okay, and we will certainly, from a chamber standpoint, through all of our resources, follow along with that, make sure that information as it becomes available is also sent out to our business membership. And it may even warrant another call like this so that we can hear from you directly. You know, some of those explanations are helpful when you can hear it rather than try to read through it and cipher through all of the information. So that sounds wonderful. Now, one thing on the state level that, of course, you all could have a impact on is we're hearing a lot about the possibility of mandatory closures, mandatory shutdowns for businesses specifically, but just in general. What are you hearing, Matthew, on that?
Yeah, that has also been a question that I've gotten a lot of response from people asking if we were going to shut down bars and restaurants and small business or even private business. Governor has reiterated time and time again that is not a part of the plan at this point. He knows the impact. We certainly understand the impact that that would have on our businesses. And so right now, that is not a part of any state plan to do that. Now, local communities have in some places chosen to take that route, but the governor has left that up to be a local community decision.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And I can say that just other sources that I was reading this morning, I know our mayor of Cartersville had made the comment that that is not something that they're looking at this time. We all certainly understand that everything is fluid and changing. And so by the time this airs and things go on, who knows what that will look like. But again, keep everybody posted. All right. One more question for you also, Matthew, is I know there's a lot of concern with cash flow right now and the way that it's affecting our small businesses because people are being responsible and they're not getting out. We want to suggest alternate means of spending your money locally that don't require face-to-face contact. But again, cash flow is no doubt going to be impacted through this period of time. So a question for you is, from the state level, can you and are you all looking at the possibility of mandating financial institutions to delay maybe loan payments or the mortgage rates, that sort of thing. What's going on there?
Right. Can we delay late fees on the collection of mortgage payments or on loans? Again, going back to what I said a minute ago, that's certainly something that could be a part of this federal stimulus coming down. But until we know a little bit better about what that package will entail, we're not able to address that at this point. But that's certainly something that's on the table and being discussed as a way to help and intervene with small business at this critical juncture.
Okay. Well, I know we saw, I believe it was just yesterday, where you had posted on your social media a survey for small businesses. And I want to thank you personally on behalf of our chamber for reaching out to know the facts, to try to learn more about what's happening, what's actually happening, within the confines of their businesses. So do you have any insight yet on that as to anything you want to share as to what you've learned and how you may be able to put that into practice?
Yeah, I'm still gathering responses, but so far, so many people have been great to step up to the plate and just give us some feedback, give me some feedback to see what those issues are. And of course, right now, everyone that has responded, everyone is stating that they are impacted by this pandemic. When I look at some of the ways that they're impacted, some of the things like, of course, decrease in consumer demand, and also watching spending closely due to the uncertainty. Those two things seem to be the two major ways listed by the survey responses in terms of how folks are being impacted. As far as ways that we can address those issues and trying to help our small business, or the things that are being done that is affecting this, the restrictions on in-person meetings or travel, that's having a huge impact, as well as potentially asking folks to suspend or curtail operations, which I said a minute ago, there's not a plan in place to shut down small business, but the limited hours or certain businesses deciding to close, I mean, that's where a lot of the impact is coming from right now. We are collaborating here at the local and the state level in terms of the response. And so number one, as far as what we can do to help small business that's come in from this survey, is financial information, whether it be the Small Business Administration loan opportunity that is available, or delaying the collection of payroll tax, income tax, or delaying late fees for loan payments, mortgage payments, those types of things. That seems to be the number one way that responses have said we would like for help in. And then also helping with innovation, which, Cindy, I'm really happy with what you're doing at the chamber to figure out ways that we can creatively support our small businesses here in Bartow County, and being innovative in those strategies. That seems to be a prevailing response in the survey that I've gotten so far.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, this For Bartow campaign is intended to do that, a collection of resources. There's so much information that's available right now, and understand that. We want to try to bring it to a local level to serve our business community. And so I appreciate that. And we know you're doing the same at the state level as well. So we appreciate that, Matthew. Any other thoughts you have that the local businesses may want to know before we wrap up?
Yeah, number one is that we're going to get through this. We are going to get through this, and I know that there's a lot of fear and uncertainty out there, but we are a resilient people. We have a deep faith, and it's in these times that we need to turn to that faith. And, going back to the call with the governor a minute ago, our priority is in keeping manufacturing going, especially for those that are in the healthcare field, and also the logistics chain, keeping that open. Especially as it relates to our hospitals and our grocery store supply chain. Those are key priorities for certainly how we're approaching the response at this time. But your local, state, and federal leaders are working extremely hard. And if I can help anyone, or if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on the web. You can look me up. Or I know Cindy at the Chambers got that as well. And I'd be happy to help anybody who has an issue or needs help here in our community.
Fantastic. All right. Well, once again, we appreciate you being with us on this call to share this information. And as things develop, we may reach out once again to hear some more updates.
All right. Thanks, Cindy.
Okay. Thanks a bunch.